Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome to EVE Talk, your weekly look at the markets in EVE Online. And for this week we are going to try and cover some of the exploration stuff, because a lot of that has been moving in the market with Odyssey, and I totally forgot about checking that last week. So I really should pay some attention to that. Of course, we'll start out, let's sit down. We'll start out with the minerals, because that's what we always do, but we'll just have a quick look, because I don't expect this to be moving that much. Yeah, bad data point in titanium already to start out with, and price is 525 for the sellers for titanium, so that's pretty much maybe a little bit lower than last week, but really nothing to write home about. Next up, pyrite prices in station, we're looking at 1350 and upwards. Buyers 1324. Let's have a look at that chart. A slow downtrend, but right at the tail end there you can see the 5-day moving average moving back up, and it's going to cross the 20-day moving average, so it might just be close to the bottom. Yeah, around 1350 is probably what the bottom is going to be at the moment for pyrite. Let's have a look at Mexalon. That one's trending down, but again, let's have a look at the 3-month chart here. Finally, the 5-day moving average has stopped its downtrend. So 40 ISK, that seems to be about where Mexalon is going to stabilize. Let's have a look at prices in station. Yeah, right around 40, 38. So it's going to be really hard, I think, to break that bottom of 40 ISK. In Mexalon, but yeah, for the high sec minerals, the slow downtrend is continuing, although it seems like we're starting to reach the bottoms for them. So now I am going to start out with what we know, with what I know is all these incognito. Jesus Christ, look at that chart right there. Really dropped through the floor. Incognito attainment, same. Yep, there you go, same drop. Parity, that's totally new, so that's not as clear, but yeah, there you go, another one. I'm not sure what, yeah, this probably, actually, if you look at the whole day, I'm not sure what this incognito ship data interface is, but this is another one. Look at that drop. They came from like 4 to 5 million and they dropped to 1 to 2 million, so it's going to be interesting to see if these turn around, but this is the data side loot, and it's really not looking too pretty. Even this one, you know, it came from like over 10 million and it dropped to maybe 3 million, something like that, so that's already really bad. But on the other hand, Johnny Pugh gave me a hint to take a look at some of the exploration frigates like the Heron. Let's have a look at that. Yep, there you go. Clear rise in the price here for the Heron. And do I see standard frigates? Yeah, so it's amongst the standard frigates. So let's go and have a look. It's the Galente have one. I think it's the Imicus. Well, that's a bad data chart. Yeah, so the Heron really went up. Let's see if I can find. Is it the Inquisitor? That's nope, support frigate. Magnate is a designed for exploration. Well, not as pronounced in the Magnate. So wow, amazingly enough, right there, the Heron, that's really gone up. Look at that, from 200k to almost 700k. Some data points even above that. Let's have a look if I can find the Minmatar one. Is that a probe? Tributes for exploring, but yeah, again a bad data point here at 500 million. What the hell is that doing there? Maybe on a 1 month chart again. Nope, it's also pretty blocky, pretty bad looking. But yeah, some of the exploration frigates like the Heron have gone up significantly in price. Maybe some of the modules then. Let's see if I can find like the data analyzers. There should be more of those that have been bought. Let's see if I can find them. That's should be, there you go, ship equipment. Yep, here you can see that big jump here. Look at the jump in the 5-day moving average. That went from 40,000 to 100,000 ISK. Let's have a look at prices for the Tech 2s. That one is clearly on a rising trend from 1 million to 3 million. So it's the stuff that is used in exploration has gone up in price quite a lot, just because a lot of people have been doing it, and the loot you get from it has dropped quite a lot. So the efficiency, I would say, because I have shown that you can easily still get most of the loot out of the data sites, and there's just a lot more of it because it was balanced around 2 or 3 people doing it. But if you just focus on the parts containers, you can grab all of those incognito disk loot stuff, and that's why there's so much more. And CCP said at one point that they intended for the amount of money you make solo to remain the same, and that's going to be the case just because it's EVE Online, and the market is going to regulate all of that. You know, it's going to cost a little bit more now just to get to the entry-level ships and the entry-level modules. All those prices have gone up. The value of the loot you can get has definitely gone down, and so overall I think exploration, a lot more people are in it, but the amount you make per hour, it can still be pretty decent if you find the sites, of course, because there is a lot more competition of it, and that could of course decrease the amount of money individuals make out of exploration. But if you find some emptier systems, you can definitely still make good money with this activity. So yeah, that was a look at the exploration stuff, I guess. Is there anything else I might want to... Maybe I'll have a quick look at the stealth bomber, because Johnny Pugh has showed us that Nemesis right there, well, that's gone up a little bit. A new activity. Ooh, look at that! Yeah, definitely a new activity that a lot of the pirates in lowsec are doing now, and definitely the Hound's gone up as well. Is to have a cloaky stealth bomber with rockets. Just wait for people to come into those data or relic sites, and then just blow them up and grab all their loot. So yeah, I would say a look at the stealth bombers. They have definitely gone up from like 20 to 26. Let's have a quick look here at the Nemesis, 21 to 23, so not that much, but the Manticore right there, below 20 and to 24, heading towards 24, so that's another 4 million, 25% increase, not bad. And this could be because people are looking at cloaky alternatives, could also be because of the 0-0 war, of course. That's going to be an aspect as well, because bombers are a good counter to battleships now, and they're very popular as well. But yeah, bombers have gone up. Interesting. Let's move on to the command ships. Just have a quick look there and see what those charts look like on the 3-month chart here. The Absolution is going back down, so the selling opportunity for that one is gone. Nighthawk, yeah, not doing too well. The Vulture is still trending up towards 300 million even. So yeah, selling opportunity in my opinion. Astartes pretty low at the moment, below 210. The EOS is trending back up again as well, so but you could have bought some below 220, and you can probably sell them now for 250. Claymore trending back up again as well, and the Sleipnir slowly going back down, but I'd wait for something a bit closer to 230 before you start buying those. But yeah, the command ship market is still pretty interesting, I think, for some medium-term trading money. We'll quickly move on to the Tech 3 market. Look at the nano ribbons. They're going back up in a significant way, even on the 1-year chart. They're starting to reach their previous tops of 6.5 million, and they're even at 6.8 million right here in Jita Station. So personally, if I had some, I would be looking at selling them at the moment, because this is starting to look a lot like an exaggerated rise, and we could definitely see a counterbalance by people bringing them to the market what they have in reserve. So I would be looking at dumping my melted nano ribbons at the current prices. But yeah, pretty interesting to see also how volatile the melted nano ribbons market is at the moment. This is quite a lot of variation right there, with a top of almost 7 million and a bottom of 4.5 million. That's quite a lot of room to work with as well. if you want to do some trading. So if you bought at these low prices, you're looking at quite a lot of profit. Of course, the Tech 3 ships, that's not going to be a pretty picture. Let's go for the strategic cruisers. There you go. The Legion, well, that one's going back up a little bit. If they go back up, I would say that's because of 0-0. Warfare, Tengu, pretty low for the year, but also an uptick. Interesting. Proteus, no, that one not, although it's moved less. It's definitely gone from, I would say, 220 to maybe 170, something like that. And then let's have a look at the Loki. That one's used also. Yeah, so I think we're looking at 0-0 doctrines, making some pushes into buying a lot of Tech 3 ships, and so we have an uptick there, which is pretty good, I think, for people that have been producing them, because it's been a really bad year for them with the loss of 3 out of 4 and 3 out of 10 and 4 out of 10 sites in HiSec as well. They took a real beating. They're very low for the year, but I suspect it's just 0-0 alliances buying a lot of them for doctrines. Maybe, well, no, I don't think the alliance tournament is going to have an impact on that. But it's good to see that that we get an uptick here, actually, for the Tech 3 producers. We'll have a quick look at Galente fuel blocks. Trending back down. Like I said, this spike, I do think that this might have been a little bit of over reaction when they announced that not all ice would be coming out of HiSec. In fact, the way it's working now, with anomalies respawning, depending on how quickly you can empty a belt, you can still get a lot of ice going. So I suspect it might just not be as waterproof as CCP suspected, and that there are definitely still a lot of ways to get a lot of ice to the market with little risk, because it's definitely correcting back down towards 13k, something like that. Next up, well, I'll go for, let's see, have a quick look. Yeah, maybe some Tech 1 ships that I haven't covered yet. Omen trending up for the year, pretty interesting, at around 10 million. I have a BBC of that, so that's pretty good. The Drake also at a high point for the year, pretty interesting there as well. Let's have a look at the Maelstrom. That one's working in its 200 million band there, and a slow downtrend here at the end. So I would suspect with Tech 1 ships also null-sec alliances, especially with the war going on, have a major impact on that, and battleships are being phased out, where battle cruisers and cruisers are probably what they'd like to use as a throwaway fleet, just because the battleships have become a lot more susceptible to being taken out by bombers, and that they've lost a little bit of their popularity, such as the Maelstrom Alpha fleet and stuff like that. So pretty interesting quick look at the Tech 1 market as well. A lot of ships are on year highs, but not the battleships. And I will end up with the Plex right here, which yeah, seems to have known a slight top there with EVE Online Odyssey. So I'd say 5-day moving average definitely below the 20-day moving average, although it's really slow. Let's have a look at the prices then. 536 and 526 for the buyers, so that's going to be really interesting. The movement is pretty slow, as you can see. It's a rather flat chart at the moment. But it's going to be interesting to see if I can pick up some more Plex below 500 million this time around or not, and then how quickly the rise back up is going to start when they start announcing stuff for the winter expansion. But yeah, slight top reached here at around 550, I would say, and a slow downtrend for Plex. So if you're looking for some buying opportunities, I would say keep an eye out for Plex as well, because that's always a really popular commodity to store your iskin and save some of its value. And yeah, 526, decently low price, I think, already. So maybe some buy orders, they might be it might be the time to do that if you've missed out on the previous bottom after the winter expansion. Anyways, that's it for this EVE talk, guys. I'll see you all on the next one.